You know, she cannot lie. Yes, everything is the truth, regardless of what you've ever heard about.
I said, really? When did we go apart?
Hollywood is built on illusion, but the truth about James Brolin and Barbra Streisand is painfully real. Just months after celebrating a milestone anniversary, their world has been shattered. Brolin has abruptly walked away from his commitments. A devastating diagnosis has changed everything.
Heart disease kills more women than all cancers combined. It's the leading cause of death for women worldwide.
The man who once ruled the box office is now a full-time caretaker. Their carefully constructed life of independence is over. This is the story of what happens when the applause stops. It's about a love so powerful it's forcing one of Hollywood's biggest stars to make the ultimate sacrifice. The final curtain call. In the blinding glare of Hollywood, some secrets can't stay hidden. The truth is, James Brolin is quietly stepping away. He is leaving the world that made him a star. This isn't a rumor. It's a reality unfolding behind the closed gates of their Malibu estate. Brolin recently turned down a major film. The role came with a paycheck of $2 million. His agent was stunned, but Brolin's answer was simple and firm. He said, "I can't commit to anything right now." For a man who has worked for over 60 years, these words are an earthquake. The reason is simple and heartbreaking. It's Barbra. You see, for 25 years, they maintained a unique financial freedom. They kept their bank accounts separate. It was a symbol of their partnership between two powerful equals. But that has changed. Recently, those accounts were quietly merged. This wasn't a romantic gesture. A friend close to the couple said it was a move of pure necessity. The reason is mounting medical bills. The costs are becoming so immense that financial walls no longer make sense. It's a stark, painful sign that their private battle has entered a new stage. The devastating news they received remains a closely guarded secret, but its effects are impossible to hide. Their life is transformed. Their sprawling mansion, once a place for star-studded parties, is now a quiet sanctuary. Or maybe it's a fortress. It shields them from the prying eyes of the world. Brolin's daily routine has changed completely. It no longer revolves around scripts and call times. Instead, it revolves around her. He makes her tea. He reads to her. He makes sure she is comfortable. He has become her rock. His focus is entirely on providing comfort and care. He is her constant presence in a world that is shrinking. Just last year, they celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary. The photos showed them smiling, a testament to their enduring love. But today, they face their most harrowing trial yet. Insiders whisper that Brolin has become fiercely protective. He screens all calls. He manages her schedule. He ensures her peace is not disturbed. He is not just a husband anymore. He is a guardian. He is the keeper of her legacy and her well-being. This is a role he never auditioned for, but it has become the most important one of his life. His decision to walk away from his career isn't about retirement. It's an act of profound devotion. It's a man choosing love over the spotlight. The thing is, this final chapter is being written in silence. There are no press releases. There are no public statements. There is only the quiet, steady dedication of a man standing by his wife. He is facing the unthinkable. The world knows James Brolin, the actor, but few have seen James Brolin, the devoted husband, in this light. He is choosing to spend every remaining moment with her. He is ensuring her final years are filled with dignity and love. It's a powerful, silent statement. A love story reaching its most poignant, heartbreaking act. But to understand why he would give up everything, you have to understand the man he was long before the fame. You have to go back to a time when he had nothing but grit and a will to survive that was forged in pain. The boy who breathed in scraps. Long before the world knew his name, James Brolin was just a boy fighting for every breath. He was born Craig Kenneth Brolin in 1940. His father was a building contractor. He was a tough, demanding man. His love was measured in completed chores, not hugs. His mother was a quiet homemaker. She had once dreamed of Hollywood herself, but she buried those dreams deep. She offered her son no encouragement. His home was a place of rules, not warmth. It was a silent, lonely world. At just 7 years old, his world got even smaller. Severe asthma gripped him. He spent 45 agonizing days in a hospital. He watched other kids play outside his window. Meanwhile, he struggled just to breathe. He would later say those days taught him about being alone. His parents rarely visited. He was a small, frightened boy in a sterile room. He was fighting a battle inside his own body. That experience didn't break him. It branded him. It filled him with a quiet determination to endure anything. As a teenager, he found his escape. He saw James Dean in a movie. That moment changed his life forever. He became obsessed. He saved every penny from his paper route. He bought a small camera. He started making his own little films with neighborhood kids. He directed 24 of them. Each one was a silent cry to be seen, to matter. When James Dean died, Brolin was devastated. He didn't speak for 11 days. His grief was that deep, but a teacher saw his talent. She sent one of his films to a university. It won an award. A small flicker of hope was lit, but hope doesn't pay the bills. When he moved to Hollywood, the rejection was brutal. He had the looks, but he had no connections. He was told no so many times he lost count. At the end of the day, he had nowhere to go. For months, he lived in the back of his rusty Volkswagen. He parked behind a 7-Eleven. He ate cold beans from a can. He was starving both for food and for a chance. He later admitted he was on the verge of quitting. He thought about giving up every single day. The hunger was a constant ache in his stomach. But the hunger to succeed was stronger. He scrubbed dishes to pay for acting classes. He studied the greats. He recited lines to himself in the dark. He was fighting a war no one could see. Then a moment of luck, or maybe it was fate. His car had broken down outside a studio. An executive's car also stalled. Brolin, covered in grease, helped fix the man's engine. The executive saw something in his eyes. He saw a survivor. A few days later, Brolin got a call. It was an audition for a new TV show, Marcus Welby, MD. He got the part. The show was a massive hit. It made him a star. He even won an Emmy. But he never forgot the night spent in that car. He never forgot the hunger. That struggle shaped him. It taught him that nothing is guaranteed. It taught him the value of loyalty. And it prepared him to fight for what truly matters. It's the reason he can walk away from $1 million check without flinching. He has known what it's like to have nothing. And he knows that love is the one thing money can't buy. His lonely childhood and early struggles created a man of quiet strength. A man who was unknowingly being prepared to one day meet a woman whose own wounds ran just as deep. The girl with a voice of pain. While James Brolin was fighting his silent battles, a girl in Brooklyn was learning to scream through song. Barbra Streisand's story begins with a loss so profound it shaped her entire life. She was only 15 months old when her father died. The official story was that he died from an epileptic seizure. But the truth, which she learned much later, was even more tragic. He died from a botched injection given by a doctor. He was gone in an instant. Barbra was left with a hole in her life. She had no memory of her father, only a deep, aching absence. Her mother, Diana, was crushed by grief. She was unable to show her daughter any affection. She never told Barbra she was proud. She never said, "I love you." The silence was deafening. Her mother remarried. Her new stepfather was cold and distant. Barbra tried to win his approval. It never came. Their apartment was small and crowded. She shared a bed with her mother and brother. There was no privacy, no space to dream. She once said she craved closets more than dresses. She just wanted a small space of her own. This loveless childhood created a fire in her, a desperate need to be seen, to be heard, to be loved. She found her escape in music. She would sing to herself in her room. Her voice was her only comfort. In her school choir, teachers noticed her incredible talent. Her voice was filled with a power and pain that was shocking for a young girl. Truth be told, she wasn't just singing notes, she was singing her story. She was pouring all her loneliness and longing into her music. At 16, she left home. She had a suitcase and that incredible voice. She moved to New York City to become a star. Her mother didn't believe in her. Her friends mocked her looks. Casting directors told her she wasn't pretty enough. They told her to change her nose. They told her to change her name. She refused. She dropped one A from Barbra, becoming Barbra. It was a small act of defiance, a way of saying, "This is who I am." She sang in tiny, smoky clubs. She was often hungry and slept on friends' couches, but she never gave up. Every rejection made her stronger. Every door slammed in her face fueled her ambition. In 1962, she got her first big break. It was a small role in a Broadway show. She stole the show. She earned a Tony nomination. Suddenly, people were talking about the girl with the strange name and the incredible voice. A year later, her first album won 2 Grammy Awards. It was an unheard of achievement. She had conquered Broadway and the music world. Hollywood was next. But even with all the success, the wounds of her childhood remained. The applause of millions could not fill the void left by her mother's silence. She suffered from crippling stage fright. For 27 years, she refused to perform live. The fear was too great. It was a constant reminder of that little girl who felt invisible. Her pain became her power. She channeled it into her performances. She became one of the biggest stars in the world, an icon. But behind the legend was a woman who was still searching for the love and acceptance she never had as a child. A woman who, like James Brolin, had learned to build walls around a deeply wounded heart. And then, after decades of searching, these two survivors, these two lonely souls, were about to find each other. By 1996, both James Brolin and Barbra Streisand had given up on love. Streisand had been on 28 failed dates. She was an icon adored by millions, but felt deeply alone. Brolin was newly single and about to meet someone else. On a whim, he canceled his date. That one small decision would change everything. A friend arranged for them to meet at a dinner party. Brolin showed up with a shaggy haircut and a beard. Barbra, never one to hide her opinion, looked him in the eye. Her first words to him were, "Who screwed up your hair?" Most men would have been offended, but Brolin just laughed. He saw honesty. He saw a woman who wasn't trying to impress him. In that blunt, funny moment, a spark was lit. It wasn't a fairy tale romance. It was slow. It was careful. It was two people with deep scars learning to trust again. They talked for hours that night. They discovered they had both been shaped by pain. They understood each other's loneliness. Their love grew in quiet moments, not grand gestures. He fell in love with her brilliant mind and her vulnerability. She fell in love with his calm strength and his kindness. Still, she was cautious. The thing is, he had to propose 3 times before she said yes. On his 3rd try, he gave her a handwritten letter. It was 24 pages long. He poured out his heart, his fears, and his absolute devotion. This time she accepted. They married in 1998. The wedding was held at her Malibu home. It was private and intimate. No press, just close friends and family. It was a sacred ceremony for two people who had found a safe harbor in each other. Their marriage was different from the start. They respected each other's independence. They even kept their finances separate, but their connection was profound. For Brolin, the marriage was life-changing in a way he never expected. For 27 years, he had suffered from severe insomnia, but sleeping next to Barbra, he finally found peace. His restless mind grew quiet. For the first time in decades, he could sleep through the night. Their story is a rare example of love that endures fame and hardship. It leaves us with a question. In our modern world, is this kind of lifelong, selfless devotion a lost art? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe for more stories that matter.